My name is Rusere. I'm currently studying at the University of South Africa and I'm based in Namibia. I'm going to present a paper titled A Preliminary Integrated Network Security Framework for Tertiary Institutions. What motivated me to come up with this paper is this. Many authors have acknowledged that tertiary institutions are facing so many network security threats or attacks. As tertiary institutions try to resolve these network security threats or attacks, they always face network security challenges or issues, such as data privacy issues, open culture issues, insider threats, negligence or mistakes of employees. So it is the objective of this paper, of this framework that I designed to ensure that tertiary institutions will have a secure networking environment and to minimize or to ensure that tertiary institutions won't face all these security challenges that we have highlighted earlier. The other point that I would like to highlight here is this. Currently, we don't have any network security frameworks. Organizations or tertiary institutions are relying on existing frameworks such as cybersecurity framework, such as NIST cybersecurity framework. We also have information security frameworks such as ISO, COVID-5 or COVID-19. So currently we don't have a network security frameworks. With this in mind, or after conducting some literature reviews, we saw that there is a gap which needs to be addressed. Let's come up with a network security framework so that we ensure that tertiary institutions networks are secure. The objective of this paper was to develop an integrated network security framework for tertiary institutions. In order to come up with the framework that I proposed, I used design science research methodology. First of all, I defined the specific research problem to justify this value of the solution. Different literature sources were also reviewed to define the objective of the proposed framework. The other thing that we are supposed to know here is this framework still needs to be validated and evaluated by tertiary institutions so that we can come up with the final integrated network security framework for tertiary institutions. The framework this paper proposes is 7 phases. We have a phase named Zero Trust, Plan, Secure, Privacy, Monitor, Incident, and Report. Let me explain the functions of these phases in detail. Zero Trust is the core of this framework. The first thing that you're supposed to take into account here, you should not trust anyone or any network resource in the network for tertiary institutions. So the aspects of the security aspects of AAA is supposed to be taken into account here. First of all, users that are supposed to authenticate who they are, maybe by putting their username and password, followed maybe by, to ensure that issues of non-repudiation and we have maintained data integrity, users, they're supposed to use what? So users, whenever they want to have access to the network for tertiary institutions, they're supposed to use what we call multi-factor authentication. So in short here, what I'm trying to explain here is this. Before you access any resource in a network, you're supposed to go through a rigorous authentication processes. Then after that, then you'll be authorized to access certain resources in a network. We need this for accounting purposes. Automated approach to security enforcement is also supposed to be configured. The other phase that we have is called plan. At this phase, tertiary institutions are supposed to do what we call network planning and analyzing the needs of the stakeholders. For example, tertiary institutions are supposed to ask themselves here, who is our stakeholders? What roles do they have? And what are their needs? Take some of the take some of the concepts from COVID-5 framework. The concerns of the stakeholders must be identified and resolved. What are the threats or risks that tertiary institutions are likely to face is supposed to be addressed here. Tertiary institutions are supposed to come up with enterprise risk management program for managing risks. We also have another phase called secure. National standards and practice must be followed to ensure computer networks, to secure computer networks for tertiary institutions. Take some of the security concept from the NIST cyber security framework. Physical security controls must be in place to ensure that your network is secure from threat actors. On physical security, we are talking about things such as locks. Maybe after locking, you are supposed to give maybe a trusted personnel, use of biometric authentication so that you have access to these computers, use of cameras, alarms, etc. The other thing that your tertiary institution is supposed to take into account is this. They are supposed to ensure that their networking, so their operating system is secure. We recommend tertiary institutions to use genuine operating systems. Any security flaw in that in that operating system is supposed to be resolved. Users are not supposed to log in with administrative account, because the moment you log in with an administrative account, if there is a malware in the background, it will automatically install itself. Guest users are not supposed to be used in tertiary institutions. All network layers are supposed to be secure. The layers that I'm talking of here is the access layer, distribution layer, and core layer. Maybe at the access layer, tertiary institutions are supposed to ensure that they have configured what we call port security, op inspection, what else? DHCP snooping, etc. Tertiary institutions is also recommended to segment their network so that they will reduce network visibility. Here, maybe they can configure what we call VLANs. Access control lists can also be used to segment your network. The perimeter area for tertiary institutions is supposed to have devices such as intrusion prevention systems, intrusion detection systems. It's also supposed to have firewalls to ensure that people from outside won't have access to your internal network. So in short here, all layers of the network are supposed to be secure. The other phase that we're going to look at is called privacy. To ensure that there is data protection in the network for tertiary institutions, security trainings on data privacy and confidentiality is supposed to be carried out regularly. Tertiary institutions is recommended to come up with data privacy policies. Users are not allowed to forward data to groups. Ensure that you have what we call mobile application management software or configured in your network so that you can separate corporate data from personal network, since tertiary institutions now are encouraging bring your own devices. Hotspots are not supposed to be allowed in the network for tertiary institutions. Use VPN if you want to ensure that you are secure, if you want to make sure that your data is secure from outsiders. Reporting channels of any privacy invasion is supposed to be well known to all users. The other phase that we have is called monitor. Vulnerability scans are supposed to be carried out regularly. Formal audits are also we recommend tertiary institutions to carry them regularly. Intrusion detection and prevention systems can also be used to monitor the network of tertiary institutions. Network monitoring tools or software such as simple network management protocols, network taps, port mirroring, software-defined networking, they are supposed to be configured or installed in networks for tertiary institutions for monitoring purposes. Automated alerts is one of the things that tertiary institutions can use to monitor their network. For example, they can set up maybe a policy in their intrusion list intrusion prevention system, so that if there is any threats in their network, it will be automatically alerted to the systems administrators. Incident. This phase is responsible for the response and handling procedures in case of any incident. Tertiary institutions that are supposed to have a detailed list of their inventory. These devices are then prioritized based on their importance. Then we monitor how these devices are working in the network for tertiary institutions. Reporting channels is supposed to be known by all users. Tertiary institutions are encouraged to come up with an incident response plan in case of incident with a cybersecurity, for example, a cybersecurity breach. How do you resolve it? Tertiary institutions are supposed to set up with what we call the threat response team. Corrective actions are supposed to be in place. Members of the response team that are supposed to meet regularly to map out responses to security incidents. The last phase that we have on the framework that we proposed is called reporting procedures. Here are supposed to be outlined. If you face any cybersecurity breach or network breach, who do you report to internally and outside the organization, the institutions? Issue charges who to notify if there is suspicious of network attack must be outlined. Contacts of the IT personnel to report to is supposed to be well known. Suspicious activities, we recommend tertiary institutions to report them. Tertiary institutions are supposed to collaborate with other institutions so that maybe they can share some of the security challenges or threats that they are currently facing. Ways of reporting to the security agents or law enforcement agencies is supposed to be known by everyone. Right, one of the benefits of this paper is this: it provides a systematic approach, mutual language and understanding of how to deal with daily security challenges or threats that institutions encounter to attain their information security goals. Let me go ahead and look at the conclusion. This paper, the aim of this paper was to provide an integrated network security framework to curtail security challenges encountered by tertiary institutions. Literature review was conducted so that we can identify the gap which needed to be resolved, but take into account that this framework still needs to be validated by tertiary institutions. Future researchers should pay attention to the concept of zero trust and threat intelligence to ensure that tertiary institutions have a secure network. I thank you. Have a blessed day.